Hey, what's going on, team? It's Ricky with TechBot Solutions. I hope that you guys are all having an amazing day, and wanted to kind of just come together like we do every single Sunday, and we talk about the top 10 stocks that you guys all see value in. So if you guys ever want to tune on into any of these live sessions, again, it's every single Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Turn on your post notifications if you want to get alerted when it is that we ever go live. And also, if you guys like these videos, just make sure that you guys drop a thumbs up. But without further ado, all we ask you to do is to post your top stock in the ticker callout format, just like Bruna is doing right now. And this just gives me a better understanding that you've taken time to plan out your trade, which is, like I'm sure we can all agree, in your best interest. So we got Bruna talking about ticker symbol APPS. So let's go ahead and break this one down on oh shoot, typed it in incorrectly. APPS, here we go. Oh wow, I really like this setup. So there's three main things that I personally like to focus on. It's just preference, right? At the end of the day, you're the final decision maker on where you choose to put your money. The thing that I find most attractive about good quality stocks are, I like there to be consistency with it, right? So to be able to understand the low points, the high points, just to pick up on those patterns. The second thing is I like to focus on bullish stocks, right? Stocks that are growing over time. And I think that we can agree that APPS has been consistently uptrending. And then I also like to focus on good deals. And what does that mean? How do you find something to be a good deal? Well, if I were to ask you, based off of the history of APPS, when would you prefer to have purchased in the past, 3 to 5 months, right? And is it at the highest point, or is it when it pulls on back, bounces off the SMA line, and then begins to indicate signs of an uptrend? It pulls on back, bounces off the SMA line, and then begins to push up. So asking those very simple questions, it just recently hit 180-day highs at 102. It pulled on back to the SMA line. This is why I'm pretty sure that Bruna is, bringing this one up as of right now. And from where we're at as of right now to previous highs, if it were to make a full recovery, that's a little bit over 35%. So we're off to a great start already. Appreciate you sharing this one with us. But I'm going to set alerts on both sides. Just like we know, there's two sides to every opportunity, which is one of the main reasons that we always say wait for confirmation if you're newer to trading, or if you want to approach it in a much more conservative way, as well as watch your position size. You don't want to be so heavily invested in the very beginning and then it not go according to plan. It ends up selling off and then you end up hesitating to cut losses. So just my 2 cents on that one. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Again, this is ticker symbol APPS. The next one is going to be DOCU. So this one's going to be Docusign. So Docusign down 3%. Overall market, especially tech, has been down quite a bit. It has been consistently uptrending, but it's just due to recent market conditions, and we have up and coming earnings, something to take into consideration. So on March 11th, there will be earnings, and it looks like it's going to be after market hours, right around 3 p.m. So as of right now, it is very oversold. It's not indicating any signs of an uptrend. So if you don't mind buying and holding, then that's up to you. But we definitely have no confirmation of a reversal just yet. But I do agree with you, based off of previous lows, there's no question as of right now that it is a little bit more on the oversold side. And if you think that you see long-term value in this, then it makes sense why it's only a matter of time for this thing to recover. Just make sure you watch your position size. So I also really like this one as well. Thank you for sharing it. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. We've got Jesse with ticker symbol ARKK. So this is the ETF that is managed by Kathy Woods, right? So overall, super bullish, big focus on tech. Tech did not do very well the past week. You guys could see that it's had a very negative influence. If I'm not mistaken, I think 20, 30, or 40% of ARK is made up of Tesla. So you can see how that could even have even more of a negative influence. So just make sure that you understand what makes up this ETF. As of right now, it is very oversold. No indication of a reversal. But again, if you're someone that doesn't mind buying now at these levels based off of previous patterns and you don't mind holding, then I think it's something that can be very exciting to follow up with. If you want to keep it even more conservative, then just wait for confirmation. I 100% agree with all of you guys, even with my Tesla position. Is Tesla the best buy right now? Not necessarily, because it can continue to sell off. What can you do to not put yourself in a such negative position, taking a very simple step of waiting for confirmation. Sometimes it does recover quicker than expected, so that's the times that you might miss out on those overall reversals. But at the end of the day, if you're someone that's just getting started, then don't rush the process. Enjoy the challenge that the market offers, and there's no question that it is much easier to make money in the market when the overall direction is in your favor. So just make sure that you set alerts for both sides. It can easily continue to sell back off. As of right now, the overall market is down, at least the NASDAQ market, so it's down about 0.25%. So just make sure you take that into consideration. And then we got the S&P 500. So this is the S&P 500 future. This one's up nearly 0.25%. So something to take into consideration looking into Monday at market open. So let me go ahead and see if I missed any. So we got PLTR. I appreciate you sharing this one with me. So PLTR on the 180-day chart. This is one that a lot of people within our house and our team are paying attention to. PLTR was doing an absolute amazing job. It hit highs of $45. It's been selling off ever since. Again, it is testing the EMA line, but based off previous patterns, you can see that almost every single time it gets rejected. We're back at the EMA line. Let's just keep it super simple. Let's set our alerts, wait for the proper indication of a reversal, and wait for that confirmation. So I'm excited to follow up with it, but just like we know, there's two sides to every opportunity. So if it ends up making new lows, then let's set our alerts for that. And I'm not too sure if it's just myself, but I'm sure I've heard this from a couple other people within our LPP group. TOS has not been having the most up-to-date alerts. They're kind of delayed, and I think that their systems might just be backed up. So just make sure you take that into consideration when setting effective alerts, that you might have to be a little bit more present in what it is that you're paying attention to. So the next one's going to be Carvana. So CVNA. What's going on, Victor? Hope you're having an amazing day. CVNA, here we go. So Carvana, absolutely killing the car market, super bullish, just recently hit 180-day highs, and it pulled on back, right? From where we're at as of right now to previous highs, that's 20% that it has to offer in potential recovery. So if you see value in Carvana and its previous pattern and its fundamentals and the current price point that you can get at, then great, maybe you can add it to your watch list. If you don't see value in it and it doesn't meet your criteria and it's still selling off, so that's why you don't want to partake in it, then great, I agree with you. Maybe it's not the best option for you. At the end of the day, like we always like to encourage you to do, there's so many different ways on how to make money in the market. Please do not think that there's one way to approach it and to be successful. It's all through trial and error and seeing what markets and what stocks you work with the best, right? So I would have to say Carvana would have to be one of my favorite, especially just overall stock. But and if anything, it's actually an Arizona-based company, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to look a little bit more into it. But I'm pretty sure the wealthiest person in Arizona is the owner of Carvana, or his dad is, something like that. So DFFN. So DFFN, here we go. Okay, so this one's a little bit different. I'm not the biggest fan of pharmaceutical. I'm not here to subjugate any pharmaceutical companies. I'm sure like a lot of them can pop off. Normally what I tend to see is they have these rallies and then they end up just dropping right after and they continue with their descending pattern. So I'm just going to keep it super short and sweet with this one. It is selling off. It is making lower lows, lower highs. As of right now, it looks like it's losing its momentum. Set your alert. If it actually begins to indicate signs of an uptrend again, then great, follow up with it. Until then, I just wouldn't touch it. So let's move on to the next one. So we got ticker symbol XL. So way oversold. I love oversold stocks. Let's look into it. Okay, so this looked like it was being manipulated. So it looks like it aggressively got pushed up to $36. The hype died out. It consolidated for a bit, and then it just has been selling off ever since. I do agree that it is oversold and it does sometimes pick up. This just doesn't have the track record in which that I would feel comfortable putting money into it and expecting it over time for it to recover. It might have nice pushes, but those would be viewed more as short-term day trades and not necessarily something that I would want to buy, hold overnight, as it's been consistently bearish. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's go ahead and do three more stocks. If you guys want me to break your stocks down, just make sure you share them in the ticker call out format and you drop a thumbs up as well. So CRSP. So CRSP, I know we've broken this one down before. So CRSP, very, very bullish before. It's a therapeutics company. Missed earnings, has been selling off ever since. Let's keep this one super short and sweet as well. Consistently selling off, lower lows, lower highs. I do agree. It is oversold, but just like we know, just because something is oversold doesn't mean that it's a good buy right now. It can easily continue to sell off. So what is different about where it's at right now versus where it was last week? And from where it was last week to where it's at right now, it lost an additional 15%. So what makes you think that next week we won't be down another 15%? Let's do our part in simply setting alerts, especially with something that's so consistently bearish, and waiting for proper indication of an uptrend. Like we know, it's already difficult enough to make money in the market, and it's so much more difficult when the overall direction is against you. Let's make it easier on yourself and wait for that proper confirmation, especially if you're someone that's just getting started. So let's go ahead and do two more. We got Irwin here. What's up? What's up? GHVI. GHVI. Let's break that one down. So this one looks a little bit of a newer one, not much patterns to go off of. I see lower lows, lower highs, hit highs of $28, has been pulling back ever since. We can set alerts here to see if it actually begins to indicate signs of a reversal. But as of right now, based off of where we're at as of right now, to previous highs, overall highs would be nearly almost 100% ROI, but a very common resistance level would be right around 20 to 21, and that offers about 40% if it actually begins to indicate signs of an uptrend. I do agree with you, it does look a little bit more on the oversold side, but there is no confirmation of an uptrend, and it's been selling off ever since its peak at $28. So just something to take into consideration. So let's go ahead and break this one down for Drew. We got ticker symbol MP. So ticker symbol MP, we could see, okay, I like this one. Very consistent uptrend, hit highs of $52. It pulled on back, has up and coming earnings on the 18th of March. So if you're paying attention to this one, or if you plan to add it to your watch list, you better make sure that you add that reminder that on March 18th, it's gonna, report earnings, and that can be both good or bad news depending on how it reports. So very oversold, testing SMA line at the support level, and from where we're at as of right now to previous highs, that's about 30% potential. There is no indication or confirmation of a reversal just yet, so let's keep it simple for yourself. Set those alerts, and once it actually begins to indicate signs of an uptrend, then maybe that's when you can decide to add more to your position size, or actually take a position if you end up taking a more conservative approach. So I think we've broken down 10 already. Do you guys think that we should break down a couple more? I feel like we went through these pretty quick. If you think that we should drop more, all we ask you to do is drop a thumbs up. How many likes do we have in this video? How many? It doesn't let me see it, so I can only see how many people are tuning on into the live stream. So I can't see. Oh, we got 137 likes. Wait, it does tell me 137 likes. If we can get it to 250 likes very quickly, 250 likes, I'd love to break down another 5 stocks for you guys. Let me know once you guys drop another 177. We're at 219. You guys are killing it. I appreciate it. It really does mean a lot. Hopefully it doesn't cost you too much to go out of your way and drop a thumbs up. So there we go. Did we pass it? It doesn't update. Oh, 375. You guys killed it. So I really do appreciate that. It really does mean a lot, and means a lot to our team here at TechBot Solutions. So let's go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and break down 5 more. So we got Carter with ticker symbol SKLZ. So SKLZ, here we go. SKLZ on the 180-day chart. Very consistent uptrend pattern, very oversold, has up and coming earnings. It could even continue to sell off even from there. So let's keep this one super short and sweet with the idea that, I need to stop saying that. It sounds like a broken record. I need to stop. But I'm going to set my alert for the break below $24 and the break above $30. This is just so I get alerted when it actually begins to break above the EMA line, or if it actually begins to make new lows, especially with earnings coming up. I think that's going to be something super exciting to follow up with. Let's go ahead and move on to chill music. This is the second one I break down for you now. So you said ticker symbol food. Let's see where that one's at. Ticker symbol. No, it doesn't look like that's a ticker. Okay, so let's go ahead and break down ticker symbol VALE. Here we go. VALE. So a lot of consolidation right here, already reported earnings. This one's kind of like a difficult one for people to determine, is this something that I want to buy right now? Is this something that I want to maybe wait on? The easiest way for me to kind of share this with you in my thought process is it's all about opportunity cost, right? And when you have your money tied up in something that's not really doing much for you, when it's just consolidating, when it's not increasing in value, not really decreasing, it's like, why even put your money in anything that doesn't have a clear direction? You're right, it's not selling off, but just as much as it's not pushing up. And because of that, I don't view it to be a top stock worth trading. And that's just my opinion. So let's keep this one. All right. So to keep, oh my goodness, I need to come up with a different phrase. But to sum this thing up, right? So I'm going to set the alert for the break above 1850, and that's it once it actually begins to break above these previous resistance levels, and also for an alert for the break below 1660, and that's if it actually begins to pull on back. So something excited to follow up with. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. We got ticker symbol. Okay, so CURO. Here we go. Okay, so this one has very low volume, and because of that, I can tell right away. Yeah, I can tell that it had really low volume just based off of how the candles would move. And because of that, I personally wouldn't trade it just due to the dollar amount that I personally work with. This isn't something that is indicating, strong signs of an uptrend or strong signs of a downtrend. But based off of where we're at right now and how it's testing the SMA line, if it actually begins to indicate signs of an uptrend, then great. Yeah, I can kind of see why you're paying attention to it based off previous resistance levels. But ever since this higher highs and higher lows, it's been selling off ever since, and I just would hate for it to go back to that $8 level until you have purchased at around $15, especially when, again, direction is not super clear right now. So that's just my 2 cents on that. Let's go ahead and break down another one. I appreciate you for posting it in the ticker call out format. So let's break down these two. So NNDM and then Walmart. So NNDM, and the next one's going to be Walmart. So wow, okay. So Nano Dimensions Ltd. Very, very bullish before, and it's been selling off ever since. It reports earnings on the 11th of March, something to take note of. All I want to remind you with this is it's been getting rejected by the EMA line. It's been making lower lows and lower highs. So what makes last week any different than from today? Like, why is it a best buy right now when it's doing the same exact thing that it was doing last week or the week before that or the week before that? It's still selling off and it's still getting rejected by that EMA line. So because of that, let's stay effective. Set those alerts for the break above the EMA line, and once it actually presents, an ascending uptrend pattern and it begins to increase in value, then yes, I'd love to follow up with it, especially because from where it's at right now to previous resistance levels, it offers huge potential, right? So definitely, I understand why you're paying attention to it. Now we just need to make sure that it proves itself to us that it's a stock worth trading. This is Walmart. Walmart super oversold, right? Reported earnings, big drop, and at that point, it was already kind of making lower highs and lower lows. So from where we're at as of right now, I would just set my alerts, especially, if you know anything about Walmart and from where it's at right now, at 128 to even just the SMA line, that's 10% potential. It's not huge returns, but it's something. And if it were to make a full return to 180-day highs, which it's Walmart, that's a 20% potential for overall recovery at current levels. I do agree with you. What makes now any different than just 3 days ago when it broke above the EMA line and then got rejected? The market's very bearish right now. So if the market continues to sell off, it makes sense almost that why Walmart might follow as well. So I do agree with you. Let and allow the opportunity to present itself. Once it actually begins to indicate signs of an uptrend, then maybe you can add this to your watch list or follow up with it when it begins to make most sense to you. So can we squeeze another one in? If someone has it in the ticker call out format, I'll do it. So we already did PLTR. Oh, one that I want to talk about. Let me just actually break one down. One that I want to talk about is PTON. This is one that we used to talk about a lot. PTON is back at the $100 support level. It actually broke below $100 just last week. We've traded this one before. You guys can look a little bit more into it. I just thought it was a stock that I was going to talk about this week. So I hope it's just something that if it meets your criteria, great. You can add it to your watch list. If it doesn't, then don't even sweat it, right? As of right now, it's testing the EMA line. It's done that before, and then it still gets rejected. If the market continues to sell off, then PTON will most likely follow. But from where we're at as of right now to previous highs, which is right around 160, that's about a 50% potential for overall recovery. So I just thought it'd be something worth talking about, worth sharing. And if you see value in it and you want to follow up with it, it doesn't mean that you have to buy it or invest in it. It just means that maybe you can add it to your watch list, set effective alerts, and buy when it makes the most sense to you, if it ever meets that criteria for yourself. But that's really just it for today, Tim. I wanted to keep today's video short and sweet, and I hope I did that. Don't forget to stay connected. You guys can refresh this live stream right now, and the first link in the description will send you on over to our free Facebook group. So if you've ever wanted to connect with like-minded individuals, this is a great way to do so. I hope that you enjoyed this live stream. I hope that we earned your thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. And you guys heard, or if you've ever wanted to watch me trade live, we trade live every single morning at market open, and that's that second link in the description. So if you want to learn a little bit more about our Learn Plan Profit group to see if it's a good fit for you, and watching those daily live trading sessions, if you've ever wanted to see what it's actually like, take 5 minutes, click the second link in the description, learn a little bit more about it, and I will see you tomorrow at market open. Until then, like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note.